Hello, everybody. Back here for another edition of the Kelly and Paul Show. I'm here with my friend Paul Friend from Friendly Organics. I'm Kelly with Carve Solutions. We help small business owners sleep at night through great bookkeeping. Paul, I wanted to talk today a little bit more about the difference between target market and ideal client. That's a bit of a buzz of niching if you're in Canada, niching if you're in the States, and
Niche in the UK.
yeah, niche if in anywhere else on the planet unless you're in the States, it's niching, which sounds like you should see a doctor for. But yeah, so can you explain a little bit about what the difference is between the two? So target market versus ideal client.
So the target market is the bigger, broader spectrum. So for instance, you guys are bookkeepers. So your target market or target industry, the two words are sort of interlinked, is people that want bookkeeping services and tax preparation services. However, you don't want everybody. You don't want every single bookkeeper. You don't want every bookkeeping client. You don't want the person that stuffs everything into a shoebox and then once a year brings it to you and goes, can you do my books? Because you're very technology based. You want people that understand technology. You want technology to work for them and to improve their finances and cash flow and so forth. So it starts with a bigger lump of clay and you just narrow it down. And hopefully that analogy makes sense. So who would you say your target, perfect client is?
Like the ideal client is probably, doesn't have to be, but it should be in the trades. That tends to be where a lot of our clients are. That helps them make certain amounts of income so that we can charge the fees that we charge and still feel okay about ourselves, because we do like to bring more value than what we charge to our clients. And we just need to be good people too that way. And they are usually busy in the doing of their business and not working on the business of their business. So systems like marketing, maybe HR, and definitely bookkeeping or finance all tend to go by the wayside because they tend to be the chief everything officer early on and then come in later and go, oh, I need some help.
Yeah. So listening to you there, it also sounds like your ideal client is somebody who values what you do rather than just sees it as a necessary evil. There's so many people that sees bookkeeping and marketing and business growth as, oh, I've got to do it because it's on this list. Whereas there's a difference between people that go, okay, I see the value of doing this because it will actually make my business more profitable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's we're looking for people who treat us like valued partners within their business.
Yes.
Obviously, we don't have the same financial stake in their business that they do, but we do have a vested interest in helping them really succeed and achieve their goals and get the quality of life that they're looking for. I mean, I don't know a single business owner, with the exception of bookkeepers, that goes into business because they love bookkeeping.
No.
Like you're good at it. Typically you're good at something.
Yes.
And you do your something, and then you realize that something, if you're going to do that as your business, you have to do all these other things, including marketing, sales, bookkeeping.
So I suppose that's another tick box for your ideal client, because it's somebody who realizes, this is what I know. This is what I excel at. This is what I need to do. However, I'm aware that, yes, part of business functions are HR, finance, marketing, sales. You might be the best painter and decorator in the world, but the worst person for counting your finances or for growing your business. So it's reaching out to those people and going, yes, they realize this, they know what they don't know, and they want someone to help them rather than, just, as I said before, just a necessary evil. Let's just process the books and do what they do. So
yeah, we're looking to build relationships with our clients. We don't want to be transactional. There are bookkeepers out there who are happy to do that and do one thing, or they see their client once a year and get everything tidied up for tax preparation. That's great if that works for everybody, but that's not us, and that's okay.
So are your bookkeeping clients also your tax preparation clients, or do you have some of that just tax preparation and not bookkeeping?
We do. We prefer owning the data all the way through. So it's much better if we are working with the business and business owner throughout the year as a bookkeeping client. And then that means we know what the books look like before we get around to tax time, which starts now and goes till whenever.
Okay, so I have a question for you then. How do you, what's the word I'm looking for? How do you filter, or how do you identify if the person that comes to you is your perfect client?
Usually through conversation. We can ask questions. We do talk a little bit about their industry. We ask what's going on, what system they have, and how's that working for them? Like, what are they using now? We are exclusively QuickBooks Online bookkeepers. If someone has Sage or someone has Xero, that's great, but that's not our ideal client. You don't want to pay us to try and learn and work with a different software that we don't know inside and out.
Okay.
There are other people who specialize in that, and we're happy to refer those potential clients to those firms. It just makes more sense. Anybody who sits there and says, I can help everybody, yeah, you probably can, but not effectively.
Yeah, exactly. To what level?
Yeah.
So your industry is bookkeeping, and then you filter it down that it's virtual bookkeeping, you filter it down again, it's QuickBooks bookkeeping, it's all the year-round bookkeeping, and then you have more specifics as in trades. And does the turnover matter about what the business turns over?
It does, yeah. So what the top line sales are, we're looking for top line revenues of at least, well, right now it's one number, and it's probably going to change again as we build out capacity. So we do want somebody around that $100,000 minimum for us.
Yeah.
And we're looking at figuring out a solution for anybody who's under that, because we want to set people up with good habits before, so that they can get to those higher levels right away.
Yeah, because then once they get to 100,000, they come to you. You've already installed good practices, good habits. So there's less of a cost to them because you don't have to fix everything.
Yeah, exactly. And fixing is ugly. It's ugly work. We can do it. But by the time we see stuff, sometimes it's very. I can tell that the owners are not looking at their financial statements, because I don't know a business owner that would be great with minus 80,000 in the bank account, which was not the actual case. That was just the way the transactions were being recorded.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that. We don't fix. We do fix, but we don't fix somebody else's mistakes, because it's normally not cost effective. Very simply, websites just a nightmare. We've got two who, ironically, they're not our ideal client, but they come and then they realize, oh my gosh, I need all this other stuff doing. So we use websites as a way of hooking people in. So they're sort of our ideal client. But yeah, going back to do you have a structured set of questions, or do you just ad hoc it depending on the interview with the client?
We do always ask or we're supposed to always ask always is a big term. That's why I coach that a little bit. So they should always be asking, what are you using right now, and how is that working for you, and what's got you reaching out, what's going on that's got you reaching out now.
Yeah, like a needs analysis.
And that's where we start very broadly, and we probably already know a little bit about the prospect's business, because they've said, I've got a ABC company that's in the 1, 2, 3 industry, and I need help.
Yeah. No, it's good to have a structure. And there's software out there that will automate that structure, so you can almost filter those people out before you actually have to physically spend any time with them.
Yeah, we've experimented with the thought of a bit of a tell us a little about your business and a little bit of a filtering tool. We haven't implemented it yet. At this point, we also still are looking for that intangible feel, like, are they a good fit?
Yes.
So but you can certainly have a filtering tool prior to getting onto a discovery call, and then have the call, and at least you've filtered out some people. Now, if we had said strictly certain industries, I can think of a few clients that we have. I've got a client that's actually in the health industry and would not have qualified on trades. Did meet the top line number that we're looking for, but just kind of barely, because it's an industry that was hit quite hard during COVID. So, but his attitude, his needing help, his responsiveness to our suggestions and how we do things. He loves using the software and the technology that we use. And he said, yeah, you use whatever software, just help me. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of person. And it's not just help me and we're talking about the same things over and over again. He is implementing some of the changes we've asked him to make every time. And he's coachable, which is
Cool.
nice.
Okay, final question for you then. Has your industry probably hasn't changed for the duration that Carve has been in existence. However, has your ideal target client changed?
Yes, absolutely. We've gone from that, and this is, I think, why I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this topic, was we went from that, we'll work with anybody, we help everybody, say yes to everyone. Part of that is, as our clients know, like when you're a new business, you feel like you can't afford to say no to anyone.
Yes.
No is not a luxury that you feel like you have. But it is a gift you need to give yourself as a
Totally.
business owner to,
Oh, totally.
and to your
Mm.
clients or customers.
Mhm.
Because if you try and help everyone, again, you're not going to be able to deliver the way you want to and show up the way you want to for your people.
You start to get a
Um,
bad reputation.
yeah, because
Mm.
you're going to do a terrible job of some things, and because you're doing those other things and not to your best ability, you're probably going to drop your service on the things you do very well.
Mhm.
So yeah, you really, yeah, need to, it's a gift you give yourself and your clients that you have and your future clients that you're going to have. The word
Okay,
no.
I have one more question because I lied. So based on the first question, how often do you review what your ideal client is?
That's we're not, probably not enough. And we probably need to get stronger on our filters, because we've allowed us some things that's like, okay, this is a little bit outside here, but they're really good here. Um, and I keep saying we because I do have a business partner.
Yeah, yeah.
So not everybody who's watching.
Sure, she'll be watching this.
Yeah, but not everyone who's, well, not the three people who watch this necessarily know that. So
Yes.
um, but
Yeah, we
so
had
yeah, we
hundreds
just,
of views on some of our shows, and they'll grow as people realize that we're adding value to their lives.
but yeah, I mean, that's probably something that should be reviewed at least annually, and probably more likely quarterly or even semi-annually, or as you notice your client base changing.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
if,
sometimes
God
it's
forbid,
not.
you have to, and I'm sorry, I'm going to use this word that we should have banned from the vocab, if you have to pivot and make changes and adjust to what's going on in either the industry or the greater world around.
Yeah, and sometimes it's forced upon you, and sometimes you can. I'm not sure whether you can. Yeah, I suppose you can control it, but I suppose you can influence it
Yeah.
through other actions and whatever. But yeah, it's something that I would recommend most people do at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Because you might find at the moment, as you say, like trades is one of them, and then you suddenly realize, well, actually, hold on a second, we're cutting our nose off to spite our face here. We have a hair salon as a client that turn over $400,000 a year. Is there other hair salons that we can use that can see the value of not having, because not doing finances, not a hair salon's speciality, so yeah, I would recommend doing it at least twice a year.
Yeah.
And so just keep your finger on the pulse.
Well, and just,
Okay.
yeah, well, who's fitting and why?
Yeah,
Just so
totally.
that
There
you're
you go.
aware,
That
who's fitting
exactly.
and why.
Who, what, why, when, and how. It's been around since the 50s, but it's still pertinent in today's world. So awesome.
Right.
You got any final comments, Kelly?
I know it's unusual for me, but no.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you very much for jumping on this, and have a wonderful day. And I'll probably speak to you pretty soon.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. And
Bye-bye.
we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.